What's up, Fackers? We are back with our Fantasy and Chill 101, counting down the top 101 fantasy football players for the 2020 season. Coming in at number 85 on the countdown, we have running back Marlon Mack of the Indianapolis Colts. Marlon Mack is our 35th ranked running back. Last year, he finished as running back 20. All right, so a few of his stats for last season: he had 247 carries for 1,091 yards and 8 touchdowns. Also added 14 receptions for 82 yards. That comes out to 179.3 fantasy points, an average of 12.8 points per game. All right, so just a few things about Marlon Mack before we discuss his ranking here. Starter question mark is what I wrote down because, as we know, they drafted Johnathan Taylor early in the draft a few weeks ago. Taylor's been a workhorse at Wisconsin. We'll see him. I actually have him ranked higher than Marlon Mack, so we'll see him later on in the rankings. Um, Last year, he was top 10 in carries, in rushing yards, and rushing touchdowns. So, very productive year last year. But with Taylor coming in, obviously that's going to affect that. And then the injury concerns. He's played 3 seasons in the NFL. He's missed at least 2 games in all 3 seasons. So there's always
Only two last year, but yeah.
only two, but just to have missed time in all 3 of your seasons, that's a little worrisome.
And I love Jonathan Taylor too, coming out of Wisconsin. He's a three down back, and like that was Marlon Mack's Achilles heel was he just wouldn't catch the ball out of the backfield last year. 14 catches, 80 yards. So it's really tough though, because Marlon Mack was like vanilla ice cream. Nothing exciting, but you knew what you were getting. And like
Very, very consistent.
yes. Like is he never had in a game that he played the full game, he never had less than 11 carries. Like he was always touching the ball and his touchdowns really spiked up. He had 4 touchdowns his last 4 games. So I mean the potential was definitely there, but when you sign Jonathan Taylor, like you're signing that workhorse running back. I don't see how Marlon Mack can be drafted that high this next year because he's just not going to be getting the full workload like he was last year.
Yeah, they're obviously you draft Taylor, you draft that guy to play him right away. Like you said, he's a workhorse. He's like third all time in rushing yards in college football. He had over 6,000 yards
I
in
guess there
his
is
three
some
seasons.
some fumbling issues with him though.
Yeah,
But
there is like he has a crazy amount of fumbles, but I mean, I don't I don't know if that's a flaw in his game or just something that like a fluky thing that happened.
yeah, it's kind of weird that we're doing Marlon Mack after we did Tevin Coleman because I feel almost the same way about Marlon Mack as I did with Tevin Coleman. It's a guy that has a decent floor, but there's not going to be a lot of upside where you're going to be drafting him in the draft in these later rounds. I
I mean, one
uh,
positive though too is like Phillip Rivers is there and he's
yeah,
better than Jacoby Brissett. I think we can all agree on that. So this off and they do have a very good offensive line now. And he does actually. The Colts have the second easiest running back schedule, strength of schedule for next year. But I don't know how you'll feel about that. But
eh, I don't put too
Philip
much
Rivers
into
has
it.
supported two running backs before. But I just they're this or if Jonathan Taylor can catch anything out of the backfield, he's going to win the job. Like they had Naheem Hines there, and I mean,
Yeah,
he really
yeah, yeah.
wasn't anything. I mean, yeah, who was the guy you started last year, Matt? I'm sure a few people did.
Jordan
Who's the guy?
Wilkins
Jordan? No, no, no. Was it him who went off that one game,
or
like 100 something
Jonathan
yards?
Williams.
Jonathan Williams. Yeah,
I think he might be
Hey,
gone.
2 years ago, I started Naheem Hines a couple games.
yeah, but he was good because he caught everything out of the backfield. Marlon Mack.
Also, whatever y'all said for the last 30 seconds, I was just frozen, so I don't know.
That's
It
fine.
doesn't
I'm gonna
matter.
assume if Britt was talking, it wasn't that important. So
Fuck you, Keller.
Well, he brought
but
up that Rivers, can support two running backs, and I actually looked that up because we obviously know Rivers likes to check down to the running backs a lot, does a lot crazy amount of dump offs, and I went and looked, and Eckler was number 2 in targets last year, and Melvin Gordon was like top 20, I think. So if Mack had any potential to catch the ball in the backfield, I think he would benefit from it. But looking back at his past 2 years, he's never had more than 20 receptions. So I think it's going to be
yeah,
Jonathan Taylor's job.
I was gonna say that if Jonathan Taylor wasn't there, I like Marlon Mack to either do as well as he did last year or better with Rivers coming in, just
Hmm.
Yeah.
because of more stable quarterback situation. But like you said, Jonathan Taylor is the Marlon Mack role. It's not like they're different roles. They're
No.
still going to feature like Naheem Hines in the passing game on long third downs and stuff. So Marlon Mack, you
You
kind of
just
compared him to Tevin Coleman. The thing about Tevin Coleman, why he is still, I think, we have him behind him in the rankings, but maybe more draftable, is because Kyle Shanahan has shown that he can support a 2 running back system.
yeah.
I'd like to see the distribution of carries and how this is going to go with Johnathan Taylor before I can commit to Marlon Mack.
Yeah, but it's also the cost. Like, where are you going to get Mac in a draft realistically? You're going to get him very late. So, I mean, if you do take a chance on Jonathan Taylor, snag Marlon Mack too,
Yeah, you
because he's
might
going to
have to.
fall.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
kind of talked about last video, Britt. You weren't here, but we said that if you do draft Mostert, he's probably going fifth or sixth round. That Tevin Coleman is a guy you want to target in that 9th to 10th round. Probably the same thing if you draft Taylor instead of Mostert. Marlon Mack's not a bad guy to have because if something were to happen to Taylor and Mostert, Coleman and Mack immediately become a very startable running back.
Well, yeah, a perfect example was last year. You could have gotten Melvin Gordon and then taken Austin Eckler,
Yeah.
and you would have had a top 5 running back.
Yeah. I'll give you something. So Frank Wright came out and said something recently after they drafted Johnathan Taylor, and I quote, "You know how we roll," appealing to the Zoomers. "We spread the wealth at running back. This will keep both fresh so you can dominate. Every team needs a great 1-2 punch." So it looks like they're trying to go with this, 1-2 with Mack and Taylor, but whoever gets the hot hand, you know that you just got to keep feeding them. I think that's just coach speak a little bit.
Yeah, that was very much coach talk there. Just they're not going to just come out and say in April that, oh, this is the guy. I mean,
Yeah, but it's touches too. Like we said, if Taylor's going to get the ball out of the backfield as a receiving target, then he's going to be the guy no matter what. Like that you
Yeah.
want in fantasy, especially most people playing half PPR now.
I'm not investing a high pick into Marlon Mack, and
Yeah,
neither
Not at
should
all.
you. Only you can
right.
prevent
So prevent what?
Forest fires.
high picks for Marlon Mack.
Oh, okay. So just kind of wrap it up. Marlon Mack, a guy you're probably targeting rounds 8 through 10. Remember, by now you already have your starters, so this is a bench guy. You're not looking to start him out of the gate, which I think is fine. He's a guy that you can use that pick on with some upside if he gets the chance. But he is our 35th ranked running back, number 85 overall. Yeah.
Yep.
Peace.